my name is Valerie Caricato. I'm one of the judges for the Battle of the Beats at the Rialto Theater.
Hey everybody, this is Jerry Bosquet, drummer.
Hi, I'm Dewey Steele. I'm going to be a consultant at the the Dixon Drum Off.
I've been playing drums for 22 years, and what got me into it is both of my parents were musicians, and my mom still is. She's a jazz trumpet player. So I grew up listening to a lot of different types of music, from jazz to a lot of classic rock. My dad played the organ, so he influenced me heavily with things like Led Zeppelin, and my mom on the jazz side, so I listened to a lot of Pat Metheny, and I grew up in a household that was just always filled with music.
I've been playing drums for roughly about 45 years, I would say, quite a while. I started when I was about 9-10 years old. My brother, so I grew up in Southern California, and my brother was in a rock band, and I remember going to see him at a gymnasium, and they were great. They were doing like Ted Nugent, Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin covers and stuff like that, and I was just sitting there, but my eyes were on the drummer.
Probably in 6th grade, my band director, he got me into it, and it just took off from there. I just loved it so much. Yeah. And then took lessons from him for a little while, and then told me he couldn't teach me anymore, so I had to go somewhere else, and it was too far away, so I had to teach myself for quite a while, and then, went from there. And I started teaching 30 years ago. Yeah.
So in 2019, I got to tour with a Sea-Level Texas artist, Mark Powell, and I got to live on a bus and do all the fun things that headliners do, like show up way early to gigs, and got to play with a lot of great people, so that was awesome.
In my drumming career, I've toured quite a bit, played some beautiful venues, the Pacific Northwest, Arizona, California.
Last summer, I won the Neil Peart PAS, which is Percussive Arts Society's scholarship, and so that was a really big thing, because to be able to say that you play on the level with some of those people, that was really just something that I valued. And I also was a runner-up for the Sabian Don Famularo Sen Mentorship Award, which has been the most invaluable thing I could have ever hoped for, as I've met a lot of my mentors who have helped me with a lot of success. So I'll shout out to them too. Klaus Hessler is one of them. He taught and is teaching Annika Niles, who, for Rush fans out there, she is the new Rush drummer, and so I get to take lessons with people like him and Joe Bergamini, who is a big Broadway guy in New York, and just opened up a lot of doors for me. I'm hoping this event will open up doors for you as well.
There was a band called U2, and they did a video called Under a Blood Red Sky in 1983, and they played Red Rocks here in Colorado. And when I saw that, I had no idea what Red Rocks was at first. I was like, and man, I saw that video and I was just like, what a beautiful venue. Even though it was foggy and rainy and all the things, right? You could just see the rock and everything. I never thought in a million years that I would get a chance to actually play that venue, and I did. And ironically, it was with Under a Blood Red Sky, a U2 tribute band that I was in for about 15 years. And the cool thing about the show that we did is that people traveled from all over the place to see these songs and hear these songs be performed at that venue. It was amazing. So we actually redid the 1983 concert that U2 did back in the day, song to song in the order, but then we actually did all the songs they wrote afterwards, like Off the Joshua Tree, Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, With or Without You, that were these huge hits that were played on that sacred ground for those guys. It was an amazing show, venue. I don't think anything is going to top that in my career.
Oh, probably the highlight in my career was, when I did sessions in LA, stuff like that. What I'm doing now is I'm still doing high school drum lines, teaching private lessons, teach private lessons at Rocky Mountain Academy of Music, and then I teach privately outside of there, and then ton of gigs.
there's a couple things I'll be listening for when I'm judging this competition. So obviously I want to hear musicality, I want to hear originality, I want to hear your personality and what you're playing. I'll be looking for basic things like technique and timing, and big thing is going to be dynamics and how well you can use that and shape what you're playing. But for me, something that I learned from the great Jeff Hamilton is that this is a musical instrument, and it's not drums, it's a musical instrument. So when I hear it, I'm going to be looking for somebody who's telling me a story, just like an artist paints a picture or an author writes a book. I want to hear a story, and I want to hear from you and have a conversation with me and the audience as to what you're playing.
The little things, right? The ghost notes. You can hear technique, you know, and what they're doing, you know, and so you'll be kind of listening to those little subtleties that will be that. But of course, we're drummers, and timing's always going to be a big thing, right? Like, we want to make sure that you're fluid, that you're going into one section, into another section, and maybe you're not going to miss a beat, type of thing. You know what I mean? So definitely that kind of thing too. And I would say dynamics, right? Up and down, you know, soft, loud, project, all those kind of things. And then I'm a showman. I like to play. I think people come to watch a performance. I'm that guy as well. So I'd say bring your energy and be, you know, original.
Well, first of all, they gotta have fun. I mean, just don't put any pressure on yourself. You know what I mean? Have a flow to your playing if you can. You know, think about how it would flow. But just have fun. I mean, if you know what phrasing is, try and do some phrasing. You know, might be for the older guys, but try and do some phrasing. But just have fun. I think it's a cool thing that, you know, Val's put together with Dixon drums, and you know, and yeah, I'm just happy to be a part of it and help out. It'll be fun. No pressure.